This production is made possible through the generosity of the members of the GEM Foundation.
Für jeden ist auch gedurft dem Wort von dem Baal Shem Tov. Kisiya Atem Eretz Chefetz, jeder Ried befragt, wird geglichen zu Eretz Chefetz zu Ort.
So I bought a Greyhound bus ticket for $100 and I went off to look for America. I went around the States meeting many rabbis of all kinds. And eventually I got to see the Rebbe in a meeting that changed my life. I asked the Rebbe my questions, the questions of a young sophomore student. He got through them quite rapidly. And that was the extraordinary moment when he suddenly did a role reversal. My questions ended. And his questions began. How many Jewish students were there at Cambridge? How many came along to the Jewish Society? We estimated in those days that we were losing 90% of our Jewish students. We're just drifting away. And the Rebbe started saying, and what are you doing about it? I really didn't expect this because I never saw myself as a leader or somebody involved in, as it were, reaching out. And I suddenly realized the Rebbe was challenging me to go and lead.
Sie wird angerufen Eretz Chefetz, der Fall, was ihnen wenig Kriegen, Avon im Tevis und Margolies, sie liegt ab Maliobאוויטש. Sie liegen kamo Eitzes, was sie seine Gonus bemavi ho Adomo.
The Rebbe taught me something very important, that the most transformative moments in your life happen when somebody else believes in you more than you believe in yourself.
Der Unterschied in uns, da bei ihnen, was sie gefühlen sich korriv, zu dem Eberflach, bemehle darf ein bisschen agrobter. Gefindt mir gleich dem Even Tevo, gefindt gleich dem Maliobאוויטש. Sie da a Sehne, was mir darf groben tiefer und noch tiefer, kdei herabzunehmen mit alle Unionen, Hamalim und Mastirim.
I was at Torres-Chaim, which was on Belmont Avenue in Brooklyn. Shortly before my 10th birthday, my mother and my baby sister and myself went to see the Rebbe. We went to 770 and my mother started to talk to the Rebbe. My son, Shalom, he's been thrown out of the yeshivas and the rabbi says this and he's not listening and the rabbis are complaining he doesn't like the school, he doesn't like the homework, he doesn't like the program, he likes eating stuff in class, and then my mother's crying and crying because she was searching for answers. The Rebbe turns to me and he smiles and he goes, "Come here." So I started the conversation. Because I was ready. I said to the Rebbe, "You're the Rebbe?" So the Rebbe looks at me with a big smile. He says to me 3 questions. The first question was, "Are you a good boy?" I said, "No," with conviction. I was ready. I was used to the scene. So then he says, "You like school?" I said, "No." Then he says to me, "Do you listen to your mother?" I go, "No." So with a big smile, he turns to my mother and he goes, Emes, it's good.
Hat aufgegraben die Maliobאוויטש, was sie behalten bei jeder Rieden, a viele bei dem Mieden, was ruft sich an der Weiler, Beshem Ache, ist eine sichere Sache, eine sehr sichere von Eretz Chefetz, eine sichere Sache, eine sehr verbunden mit Mekel, Mayim, Chaim, Havai, Elikim, Chaim.
Emes, it's good. And that was, wow. I jumped right back into the whole scene.
Man darf sich mehr nicht haben Geduld und nicht jallen in Kirche wie Gier. Auf der Grobensach und aufgraben dem Bejehr, bis wann es zu tun im Stürmen, dem Mayim Chaim Shebetech, aber das gewähnt der Weder von den Baal HaHilullah.
My father was an Orthodox rabbi. He was a Musmach from Slobodka. And unfortunately, he died when I was 7. My mom, as a single parent, I guess was looking for some sort of help and reassurance. He was very Makarov. I'd walk with my mom sometimes on Eastern Parkway, and if the Rebbe happened to be walking, he would just kind of like touch his hat as if to acknowledge that she was there. And that meant so much. Then when I was in college, my mom had wanted me to come with her, you know, so I'd have the experience. He asked questions about what I was doing at college. I was involved in the Jewish Culture Foundation because NYU is a big university, and I wanted to maintain whatever was important Jewishly. A short time after the meeting, I do remember the excitement of getting this letter at NYU. Blessings and greetings. The life's purpose of every Jew has been clearly defined as far back as the revelation at Mount Sinai. We were then ordained as a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Every one of us, man or woman, must fulfill priestly functions to bring God to the people and to elevate the people to be nearer to God. Our father Abraham has taught us what one individual can achieve. For one was Abraham, yet he inherited all the earth. Our age, which some people prefer to call the atomic age, has further demonstrated that in the minutest quantity of matter, tremendous stores of energy may be found. All that is necessary is to discover them and then harness these stores of energy to constructive purposes. I feel sure that the thoughts expressed in the above lines will find their proper response in your heart and in the hearts of your colleagues and friends. Cordially, Menachem Schneerson. I shared it with the director and the other officers, and we really succeeded in having a lot of Yiddishkeit there.
When I moved to New York and got married, I started a beginner's minyan at our shul here in Manhattan. It was basically an introductory service for Jewish adults that may or may not have had the benefit of a Jewish education. We launched it on Rosh Hashanah because we thought that was an auspicious time to try and attract people and so forth. And I was leading it with not a great deal of preparation, but nevertheless I did my best to lead it. And it turned out to have been a success. I remember, as I always did every year, going to visit the Rebbe for Lekach between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And always long lines. Lekach time was no exception, and you could see people coming to him and expressing their own needs and their own worries and requests for advice, requests for blessings and so forth. Everybody asking and asking and asking the Rebbe for things. And I thought to myself, this year I'm going to be different. I'm going to give the Rebbe some nachas. I'm going to give him some good news and make him happy and proud and smile and especially make him proud of me.
I'd like to let the Rebbe know, I hope he had some nachas from the following. This Rosh Hashanah in our shul, I started a minyan for beginners who don't know anything. We had 200 people. 200. On Rosh Hashanah, and Yetz Hashem for Yom Kippur we'll have also. And the Shabbos, we started the first regular Shabbos, we had about 50 people.
Shabbos, last Shabbos.
people without any background to start learning a little bit about Yiddishkeit. And I'd like a Rebbe's bracha that we should continue.
And I expected a big yasher koach from the Rebbe. I expected the Rebbe to give me a high five and to congratulate me and so forth. When I said the words, Jews without any Jewish background, the Rebbe's smile disappeared. And he looked at me with his piercing blue eyes, and I knew that I had said something very, very wrong. And I didn't know what.
He'll explain to all these people they have a real background of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yankee. And so the Rivke Lochel. That's it for you, and that's for the people who have no background.
The Rebbe was saying, this is royalty you're talking about. These aren't Jews without any background. This is royalty. And that was the Rebbe for every Jew. For the Rebbe was royalty.
You know, we were Pashut mention, but everybody counted, and that's the important thing.
He said I was emes. At that point, it pulled me right back into Yiddishkeit.
Last night at London, Jonathan Sacks became the new chief rabbi, a figurehead for the whole of Anglo Jewry, and one of the most influential rabbis in the world.
That's what the Rebbe did. You saw your reflection in his eyes, and you were suddenly much bigger than you thought you were.
Danach, der Taschen allein arbeiten mit sich und dem hat verschafft in der Piuloteva, der meiste Tee muss sein einmal heftig bis es kommen in der Meime du Matzo von einer Weihe Gimlech Leila und Wort, was Wort ist erhechet einmal heftig, bebias Mashiach Tzidkenu bekorev Mamar.
With materials from the Living Archive, established by the Rohr Family Foundation. Video collection preserved by Benjamin Federman in tribute to his parents.